I am 38, which is not any kind of real number to be freaked out about, but it is kind of weird because 28 is something, 18 is something, but 38 is near 40. And 40 just has that connotations of man now. Or if you look at, girls, you're like, you're a pedophile. You're like, but she's 25, you're sick. You're like, oh fuck. I guess I'll be going out with some old women. I could go out with them hairy women who are my age, And have you noticed how hard it is for, well, not you women, you guys, to deal with becoming a man? It's like this nebulous kind of thing that's all wrapped up in morality and, facing your new bullshit and countering it against your old bullshit. It's really difficult. Because I noticed a lot of guys, I've noticed for myself that I was like 18 for like 25 years or something. You're living in the same bullshit room and you use the same futon, which is now just like the middle of it is now like about this thick because it's just been pounded with perspiration and semen over the years. Wham, wham, and rub, pound. And you can break it in half, because it's so old and it's been used so much. There's a lot of inspiration down there, A lot of poetry was written there, And it's hard to figure out what adulthood is all about, especially in this day and age when you're taught to be like, this shithead, and it's hard to find, the way to kind of evolve, Well, it's been hard for me. And the way I found the way to evolve slightly was to pay attention to women who were cool enough to take me to the curb and explain to me all the dumb shit I had just said. Like, okay, Henry, look, you're a nice guy, okay? I don't want to say I feel sorry for you, but okay, your plot loss and career or life arrest, your character development is so thoroughly retarded. As a human being, I cannot help but stop and attempt to help you. I'm like, thank you. I don't have arrested development. My development was like taken out in the woods and lashed to a tree and left for dead, And have you noticed, you guys, you're hitting on girls, and you're 30, you're 35, and girls make that miraculous transition into women. I don't know exactly what age, but they go from the age where everything is kind of cool and they're eating young miss and and then they go to that age, one magic summer goes by and you can no longer bullshit them. When they do, you say something like, save it. You're like, oh shit, it's happened. And you realize how lame you are because you've been using your jack-off 18-year-old hit-on lines forever, and they always seem to work. And then girls turn to women, and then they read you like the Sunday papers. And they're like, oh, you want to do this to get that, and you said that because you want me to think that. And you're like, fuck, you sunk my battleship. It's like, you know what I mean? So maybe I could read you some of my poetry. B2, hit. Hey, why don't we go for a walk? C2, hit. I'd really like to hang out with you sometime. C3, oh, fuck, you sunk my submarine, man, fuck you. And I've noticed that, when women start... I guess the graduation from girl to woman is when they have learned to become thoroughly unimpressed with your meager accomplishments that you wear like this huge badge of courage. Growing up for guys is often really hard. When you ask the girl out to dinner, usually it's yes or no with a girl, We'll eat dinner and then we'll get in my rocket ship and fly to the moon. Wow, okay. Get in the rocket ship. Here we go. Yay, it's my car. We're going to go back to my place. We're going to fuck. Okay. And then they turn into women. And you go, so you want to go out to dinner? And the woman goes, oh, let's see. You want to take me out to dinner? So you can imprison me behind a table and talk about yourself for 4.5 hours nonstop, right? Let's see, what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna pull your passport out, which is utterly mortifying, and I have to sit and endure it because I've gone out to dinner with you and I was stupid enough to leave my car at my condo, and you're gonna show me every stamp of every country you've been to in the next 4 years so you can impress me with how worldly you are and how well-traveled you are, as if world travel is supposed to make you a larger-minded person when I really know how you travel. You go from the airplane to the airport airport, to the hotel courtesy van, to the hotel, to the van, to the venue, to the van, to the hotel, to the van, to the airport. And you never really get into any kind of culture at all because you have a show at 8 o'clock. And you're going to tell me about all the interesting people that you meet when all the people you meet are people who go, I love your band, man. Would you please sign this? So you don't really meet anybody at all. You just meet the people who want to meet you. And you say that you've seen all this stuff, but you saw it, yeah, from the window of a cab on your way to the airport. And so now you're basically bragging to me about the fact that you sat on an airplane for 14 hours at a time and read People magazine. That's really nothing to write home about. So after you impress me with how worldly you are, then you will impress me with how smart you are. You will tell me about all the books you've been reading. In fact, you'll tell me about all the books you've been reading like it's all the books you've read in the last 6 weeks, when really it's all the books you've ever read in your whole fucking life. And you'll quote from the books, like you'll quote from Henry Miller's Air-Conditioned Nightmare, where you'll say, people don't converse anymore, they merely spit facts and figures they've gotten from gleaning, from cursory gleanings from periodicals, but they no longer converse. And I'll go, wow, Henry Miller was so intense, and you're so intense to really get that. When really, I read that book about 150 years ago, and that quote was from page 17. In fact, when you quote from Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, you use that book, all you men use that book because you're proud of yourself because you can say the word Raskolnikov, and you're so proud of being able to say that polysyllable that you have to quote from this book, but you're quoting from page 25. In fact, all the books you're quoting from, be it Yukio Mishima or Friedrich Nietzsche or Baudelaire or whatever, it's all from like pages like 1 to 30, which means you never read the other 250 pages. So I did read them, not for school. I read them because I like to read, I like to learn. But I never have to brag about my intellect because I know I have one. The only people who try and impress you with their intellect are those who don't have one. And so you will lecture me about the virtues of this author and this musician and how you understand them better than anyone else can, because these people just don't understand. And you understand everything because you are Mr. Intensity and you are Mr. World Traveler Guy. And soon as you've impressed me with how worldly you are and how smart you are, then you'll let your facade down and show me how sensitive you are. That the muscular, scarred, sinewy exterior is just there to protect the tender poet warrior who lives inside, who craves love and affection and warmth, but who's on a quest for great fame and adventure and must keep a thick skin to take it from these bastards day in, day out on your quest for glory. And so I'll go, oh, he's so well-traveled, he's so smart, he's so sensitive. Oh, I'm getting my seat wet. Oh, and as soon as you see that I've been broken down by your worldliness, by your intellectual intensity, by your just sheer sensitivity and bravery and strength of soul, I'll want to mother you. And then you'll apply the most generic hit on. You'll say, so how about we go back to my place and get it on? That's what you'll say to me? You'll quote a fucking Afghan Wigs lyric to me? I've got a Marvin Gaye album and a glass of wine. Come over here and let me taste you? That's what you'll say to me? And of course, unlike all the other girls that you've asked out who went along with all this, I will reject you, which will send you spiraling downwards into depression and self-doubt, and you'll run, screaming out of the restaurant, and you'll hurl yourself into gymnasiums more often than you usually do at a later time than usual, when all the show-offs are gone and it's just you and all the other depressed loser men like yourself are in there rubbing Rogaine into their scalp, lifting weights to build more of a vascular muscle wall to protect them from the evil ball-breaking glacial women who inhabit the planet, who do not understand that real men stand on the frozen dawn, the icy line, and look into the future. And they don't understand. They don't understand. Only Ronnie James Dio understands. And you will herd together and commiserate in a scrum going, women are fucked. The only thing that understands me is the iron. The iron understands me. I will curl myself into a fortress of vascular steel, because women are ball-breaking sluts, and they never want me. They always want male models. Men I could break with my bare hands. They don't understand that I could eat a bowl of soup out of their craniums if given the chance. I see them in the magazines. I want to break them like the little insects they are. You should be fucking me! Me, the man of steel! Is that why you want to ask me out? You're like, lesbian? That's the only thing you can come back with.